the pre-workout warm-up. Should I do it? Will it confer any additional benefit over just hopping right into it? And how should I do it? Absolutely a fantastic question. Happy wendwellness. I hope you guys are having an awesome day. And when we talk about warming up, the truth is, well, if you look at meta-analyses, something from PubMed, for example, was 32 different trials, high-quality studies, 75% of them did show that there is benefit for exercise performance with warming up before your workout. And this comes with a major caveat, right? We don't just stand there and stretch, right? We don't want to loosen a rubber band before we need some contractile force, some strong contractile force. So if you stand there, you're about to do legs, and you start, or you're about to go do sprints, something explosive, right? And you stand there and you're touching your toes and you're holding it and you're coming down. What are you doing to those muscle fibers? You're pulling them apart. What happens when you need them to contract when you're doing those sprints, for example, right? The actin-myosin, they're crawling along each other and they're coming together. They need to contract quickly. So especially for some type 2 quick twitch focused exercise, it does not make sense to static stretch before. So what will we do, right? Well, we prefer dynamic warm-ups because static stretching, it decreases exercise performance, as we've said, but it also increases your risk for injury, right? So of course we don't want that. If that rubber band was stretched out and it has, been stretched to the point where, say, you get those stretch marks in it and you need it to contract really fast, well, right, it doesn't have that same power, that same force, so again, decreased performance. 2, it's more likely to rip, right? Your muscle fibers are no different. Now this doesn't hold as true if you're, say, about to do yoga, something low impact, something that doesn't require, tons of power output, right? High intensity, big time strength. Then it can be a good thing, right? It's okay at least. So with a warm-up, if you're doing legs, what kind of thing would I do if I'm about to go sprint? Leg swings. You put your hand on a wall. You swing the legs back and forth. You face the side. You swing them. Now, are you still getting a stretch? Are you getting some stretch? Right? You're just not pushing all the way to end range, past end range. So you're maintaining elasticity in the fibers while keeping some contractile force and potential for contractile force, right? And so it makes a lot of sense to warm up like that. Well, Shane, what if I'm about to do bench press, okay? Aside from the fact that you would do something, you wouldn't put your arm on the wall and stretch, right? That's static stretching. We don't want that. It's going to decrease the power, increase your risk for injury. What we do want is some rapid movements. Do I start by just grabbing something and going nuts? Of course not. But the way you warm up, you can even have no weight. Take your hands in the air. You're going to go back and forward. What's the motion of a bench press? It's this, right? So you're going to stand there like this, back, forward. Little bit faster each time until it's comfortable for you to You do that for like 20, 30 seconds, you're good to go. If you can come, right, and it doesn't hurt, your body can handle that right now, well, you're going to be able to handle the speed of the bar coming up and down. Right, so that's one. The second thing I want to talk about regarding the warm-up, we waste a lot of energy often with the warm-up, albeit, as we said from that meta-analysis in PubMed, 75% of the study showed there is benefit conferred by doing a warm-up in terms of your exercise performance. It doesn't mean it should be really long, right? Take that same motion, the bench press. Say you're trying to do a bulking workout today. You want to do stuff. You get 4 to 6 reps, really hard. You're trying to really, really kill yourself. You're going to do some drop sets after that. You don't sit there in the beginning and just do like 5 sets of 135. You're wasting energy. You're wasting energy. You don't do that. You do some movements like we said in the beginning, and you can, if you're going to end at 315, 225 is something you can get like 12 of. We'll start with that. Don't start with something really light. And here's what else. If that was your goal, to do something heavy 4 to 6, don't do all 12 with the 225. Just a few to further warm you up, right? Get your body used to feeling the weight. All right, so you did something quick like this. You did, say, 1, 2, 3 reps even. Bump it up to 275. Same thing, right? So that's if your goal, again, was to go to 315 and say do something bulk, right? Now, if you were going for high intensity, low amounts of rest, not that heavy of weight, great example is like the push-up 22s we've done here at When Wellness, where you get 22 breaths, and you do a set at 22, and then a set and you 21 breaths, and so on, all the way down to 0. Right? We're not doing any weight, so we're not really worried about getting injured as much in terms of bearing some heavy load. Right? When you get injured in something like that is when you're at the end and you try to get one more and you start twisting. Never do that. You never sacrifice form for a rep to the point where you're not controlling the weight, where you're not controlling it, right? So that's how you would warm up if you were doing the heavy bench press, and if you were doing those like push-up 22s, your warm-up could just be these in the air. Your warm-up could even be, honestly, during that first set, where you just go slow at first, slow, and then you go a little faster while you're doing the push-up. It's the same concept, really, as standing in the air and doing that. And I don't want you to hop on the ground right away and go, wah-bah, wah-bah, wah-bah. Your body's not prepared, right? So that's what we got for you guys today. I hope it was useful. I think it was a great question that we had. It doesn't matter who asked, but something definitely worth talking about. If you have any other questions about working out, warm-ups, health in general, science, supplements, nutrition, pathology, please send me a message and I'll do my best to get back to you. We have a ton of messages, so it's really a lot. I'm sorry if you've sent a message and I haven't gotten you yet. We have hundreds in there. It's been absolutely crazy. So, we love the interaction, but I'm a one-man ship, so I'm doing this to the best I can. Who do we got on here? Let's say what's up to the people. Alan Elite, how you doing? Wire 3, what's going on? Kawan Zamora, how you doing, my friend? Pandalay 860, Joseph Alexander, trainer dude, he's a trainer. Back to the Watcher 2. How are you, my friend? Thank you for hopping on. Timothy S. Wells, Ifiofo, if you guys have any questions, post them. Tricky S. Mize, Richie in the Heights, Stasio 2, how you guys doing? Smooth 788, David MPA, Hot Since 89, Malcolm, what's up, my man? Young stud. Felipe Ramirez, yes, how you doing, my friend? I don't know what's with like the Italian-Spanish accent today, it's having fun. Sandia 0211, what's happening? Jasu 30, Tasmi 17, Faraz 70, James Costos. I'm seeing a bunch of regulars out here. How you guys doing? How are you? Omar Morales Alvarado. What's happening? Oakland Ranch Reno. Orubio, what's up? Kyle Jessup. Jay Shun 87. Symphony Samuel. Maggie Vax, what's up, Meg? Brandon Malone, KJ, and Gina Brady. How are you guys? Marcus, thank you. Allegra Leighton Artistry. How are you? Thank you for hopping on. So I hope you guys get something out of these. Again, just hit me up if you have a question, you have something you want to talk about. We've been taking a lot of requests. There's a pretty long list, but we're doing our best. Have an absolutely fantastic night. Happy Wend Wellness. We'll see you tomorrow.